You haven't a chance to play much, Caden?
Not the last few weeks. I haven't played much. Just haven't had the time. Just get everything ready for season 5 and all the rest of it that's going on. So
yeah, people are pretty keen for it. I think just from looking at the numbers on the videos I've been doing.
Oh yeah, definitely. The hype is there, and I think y'all did a fantastic job in season 4. Leaps and bounds better than season 3, and it definitely attracted more people to the game. Twitch drops was huge too. It helped a lot.
I'm just looking forward to seeing the fire units being used more than just a few of us.
Yeah, no, I can't wait, man.
Just watching Zimster, I think he's just logging in. Well, he's just logged into something period.
Of course, Zim is late.
What's up, Zim?
Of course, Zimmy is late. Oh, hey, Zim.
Sorry, I was busy playing the mouse.
That's alright, dude. Right, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to sort the frickin' kit out, and then I'll be back, and then we'll kick it off.
Roger that.
Okay, then, before we start, how was the, the attire that was released, the blue one? I always forget the name of it. How was that received? Do you know? If it was,
Which
if
blue
it went
attire?
there was,
The one from the Sapphire packs you read about?
yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really well received. I think a lot of people were waiting for that one anyway. So
Yeah. No, I think I really liked the attire. Because what I liked about it was that it was very unique to other attires. So it looked like a complete, they weren't using the same textures that you see kind of dominating a lot of the other the other attires. So
yeah, it reminds me I need to try and get a hold of it for tomorrow night so I can wear it.
I'll tell you what though, my house bought a bunch of them. It's our symbol. Kraken.
One thing I would say is, would it be possible to get? I don't know if it's possible with the in-game mechanics, but would content creators be able to get the attire for, let's say, a duration of like 3 days or something, and then it expires, just to be able to show them off?
I'm not sure that's actually possible with the way the system's set up, but I can certainly ask.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I just think that if you're running around with them as well, I think it kind of might help to sell it as well. Because personally, I think it's one of the best attires that I've seen anyway.
I can ask, but like I say, I don't know whether it's possible.
Right, dudes, all ready?
Absolutely.
Sweet. Just put on Zoe's stream a minute, and then we'll go. Good evening, ladies and gents. So we're back with the official, unofficial Conquerors Blade content creators stream. This time around we got Mr. Zimster, Mr. Mouflon, Mr. HandbanananPVP, and we're joined with special guest Mr. Caden from the community management team. Hello to everyone here.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to have you all, as always. So tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're definitely going to keep it to an hour, Zimmy. Definitely going to keep it to an hour. We did last time so we're definitely going to aim for it again this time. But what we're going to discuss is now season 4 has pretty much finished, hasn't it? The last couple of days pretty much finished. We're going to discuss our thoughts, feelings, and everything for season 4. and then we're going to discuss what we already know about Season 5, plus as well we're going to talk about tomorrow night with Caden about the official Conquerors Blade stream, which is going to be happening. So, just very first off, very quick introductions. I know everyone here except Caden has been on the podcast before. However, I run Coffee Fuel Gaming. We'll go with Mouflon next. So if you want to introduce yourself, dude.
I'm Mouflon. I'm a Twitch streamer and also a game tester as well.
Awesome. HandbanananPVP.
I'm HandbanananPVP. I make montages and unit guides on YouTube for Conquerors Blade.
Cool. Mr. Zimster.
I'm just a simp for your stream, bro.
Loves it. Loves it. And Mr. Caden. If you could tell everybody about what you do, Caden, and everything.
Yeah, so I'm the European English Community Manager. I work alongside the likes of Chibs, Istral, Uriel, and we're here to make sure you guys' feedback gets passed along. Try to create some cool events both in game and over social media and on Discord. And then just help out wherever's needed, really, like with season trailers, things like that. So yeah, we're kept very, very busy. But if you ask us anything on like Facebook or Twitter, the chances are it's going to be me that's replying to you there.
That was one thing I was going to ask, actually, Caden, as we're doing the introductions. Is it mainly you that does the social media then?
Well, I mean, on Facebook, it's the pages are actually targeted, so there is actually obviously there's the default page, which is the one that I look after, but there's also a specific one where the French users get sent to, which Istral looks after, then the German one, which Chibs looks after, things like that. On Twitter, it varies depending on who catches the message first, but I usually am the main contact there. We have started signing out tweets. Some I think Banana's definitely seen. Because we've done a few for him. We have started signing, so you know which one's actually replying to you on Twitter as well. So, but yeah, it's usually me, or Uriel, that catches those sort of posts.
Awesome. So does anyone? Oh, I've totally forgotten what I was even going to ask. It'll come back to me. So we're going to go straight into season 4 chat. We're going to keep this podcast going pretty sharpish this time around. So Mouflon, Banana, Zimmy, thoughts on season 4? Enjoy it? Not enjoy it? Any issues that cropped up which you hope are going to be ironed out in the next season? Anything like that?
I'll go first. Banana. So season 4, I'm very happy or very looking forward to the future of the game. Even more than I was before. Season 4 was like leaps and bounds better than season 3. As we know, that season 3 had a lot of balance issues and such like that. S4, oh my god, the units, everything. It just seemed like everything, like balance wise, for the season was just perfect. It's like none of the units that were released were like overpowered. They were good in the right hands, but none of them were bad. It's like they were just like the happy medium of where they should have been. And it's great to see that improvement. It just shows that the team is trying and they're succeeding in creating that balance. I mean, the only negative I would say is maybe some server problems, but I think that'll be corrected in the future. It comes with releasing new content, influx of new players, certain things like that, and I got faith in these guys to get that done. I'm pumped for season 5.
Awesome. So overall though, pretty positive, Banana.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So Mouflon.
I think my highlight was definitely the new game mode. I really enjoyed that. So the one especially with the ship and getting the ship to the water. I just thought that was fantastic, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing more of that as well. So more kind of like lore specific gameplay. So something that might be in the season 5 that will be similar to that would be fantastic. So I was very excited to see that, and I think also that, like Banana said, the units were really well balanced, and I think everyone really enjoyed them. I thought the integration of the voiceovers as well was really well received. I was a bit skeptical at the beginning because I wasn't sure how the battlefield was going to feel, like whether it was going to be too much, but I think it's really fitting. It kind of, I think they're very short to the point, so it really does well. The only down thing I would say is just the lag. It's just seen an increased lag from my end anyway, and in my community a lot of people are complaining about lag. Obviously the NA server has been experiencing some issues like that as well. I didn't really get a chance to play the ranked play, so I couldn't really comment on that, but yeah, that's about it really.
Awesome. Zimmy, have you got any additional things you want to add?
Season 4?
Yeah, season 4, good, bad, any issues?
I mean, I don't feel like the meta changed at all, so it wasn't like they brought out any new units that actually changed the game, in my opinion. But I mean, besides that, I mean, everything was smooth on balancing, at least. Like, the units weren't overpowered, which is good. We had the issue with Pavise in season 3. And obviously the condos too. But this season, you didn't really have to change anything. I mean, the Janissaries are pretty good, honestly. Only the Janissaries are really good. I mean, the Zaps aren't bad, right? They're beefed up condos, but like they really brought a bunch of units that didn't contribute too much to the game, in my opinion. But that's about it. Like, I mean, of course, the server issues. Like, everyone knows about that. But besides that, I mean, I didn't have too many other issues. I just feel like the meta didn't change because of new units. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
I was going to say that can kind of be viewed as good and bad, can't it? That not a massively overpowered unit has come in, just like the Pavise in season 3 when they were broken machine guns.
Yeah, I remember that.
What about from your point of view then, Caden? Is there anything that you've really enjoyed season 4 playing, or obviously doing the role that you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like Mouflon. The new match, the new PvP match that we brought out, the escort the ship. I genuinely loved that, and I would love to see more of those escort maps brought in. It was definitely, you know, a different way of playing the game, and you could see people sort of switched up the way they were thinking from, well, you know, capturing the flags and, you know, taking points, to, oh yeah, we need to escort this thing. So it was good to see a lot of different units being used and tried, to try and get the sort of the best out of that. I agree with Zimster. The meta obviously didn't really change, but I don't think that's such a bad thing. Because it gave people a chance, you know, to level up those units a bit slower than having to rush them up so they've got the best units. So yeah, I don't really think that the meta changing is such a bad thing, personally. I do have a question for you guys though. The story aspect, you know, we switched out that map, the Reginopolis map, and you've seen that changing. What was your guys' thoughts on that? Did you enjoy that sort of thing? You like that sort of progression of the story, or were you just not that interested in it?
Do you wanna go first on that one, Moof?
Yeah, sure. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great idea. I liked the fact, because I always said before, like, a lot of the maps, you know, they seem very static, you know, for obvious reasons. But by changing up like that, it makes it more dynamic. So every kind of couple of weeks, you've got to rethink your strategy and stuff. So, and it takes time for people to know whether the same units are still appropriate, or whether you need to change your tactic a little bit as well. So you could really see that in the battles as well. So from every single change, you saw people kind of getting slightly out of their comfort zone, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great idea, so I definitely want to see more of that as well. I thought I don't know whether it was kind of like a fix or something, but where you were able to take down the walls on, especially at the spawn point C, and also at where you're on attack near one of the supply points, on the left, Was that meant to, or was that kind of like an art? Because I wasn't sure whether that was a change that was made for the lore, or whether it was a change made because to make it easier for the attackers to actually get into the city.
So that one actually was a change we made specifically for that. It wasn't part of the story changes.
Oh, okay.
We'd already done that. But we seen that people were, having a bit of issues around those sort of areas. So those changes were made to make it a little bit easier for the attackers to get in. But I don't think it made it too easy. It was just an extra option for them.
Well, I still think it was quite nice that you guys were able to do that during the season. And because obviously some maps, like the fast pace of some of the cities, there's kind of like an expectation to have a new map now, or a few new maps now every season. So it's quite, I suppose it's a nice feature to be able to jump on the next day and something's changed because it's been addressed so quickly. So I personally love the map. I thought it was a great map, and I love that changing aspect of it as well. What would be cool as well would be to see maybe a future map that constantly changes, so you actually never know where you're attacking and where you're defending. So a side might be blocked or something like that, and maybe even in terms of a dynamic thing where people vote. If you're in defense, you kind of vote your strategy. So basically, an extra wall goes up or an extra obstacle goes up in that location. Make it adding that slight. Just before you get into battle, you kind of need to send your surveyors in to go and stake it out and see exactly what's going on each side of the wall before you attack, because that side's been blocked because of the vote from the defense team. Just to add a bit more of that dynamic aspect to the gameplay.
Yeah, that could be really cool. I'm not sure how sort of feasible that is with how it's all set up currently, but we can certainly make that suggestion. If it is, it's not going to be anytime soon, because that would be a massive change to the game.
Yeah.
Just following on from Mouflon's thing there, Caden, I don't know if you've heard anything. I know I definitely haven't, but obviously with Season 4 we were meant to be getting the deployable barricades and things, weren't we? Is that still planned at some point in the future? Do you know?
I've not heard anything about them for a while now. I would love to see them in game. I definitely think that would certainly add some interesting planning to the maze, especially on like Sun City and that, where they got those narrow corridors. But right now, we just don't have any more information about if and when they are coming in the end.
Okay, yeah, because I know there was a few issues when between the last preview event and the start of Season 4, which is why they were taken out, weren't they?
Yeah.
So I thought I'd just ask that as we were on the subject, because I've been asked that in the past, and I obviously after the first couple of weeks I then didn't hear anything about them, so I didn't know if there was any other plans for them, but obviously not at the minute. So at least people know that now.
Yeah, never say never. That's what I'd say.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Zimmy or Banana, do you have anything additional Season 4 story wise or map wise that you want to add in?
When it comes to like the storyline, I actually really like it and I really enjoy it, because it's kind of like when like every season's like a new season, and like it's like almost like the players like create the lore of the game as well through the territory war, like all the captures and everything, and like what different like alliances do and everything. And it's nice seeing like the actual seasonal content released from the developers to also have a storyline involved as well. It just adds another aspect of it, kind of like the epicness of the game. Like I've never felt playing any other game, I've never like felt like realism in the game like that, to like a medieval experience, like this game does. That's why I love it so much.
Zimmy, have you anything to add, or pretty much in agreement with everything?
I mean, the story was good. I liked how they kept changing the maps. I really think the maps were great this season. That's one thing they did a lot better. So the story mode seemed great. No complaints there.
Awesome. Is anyone before we move on from season 4, because once we move on, we'll move on. Has anyone got anything else they want to add or ask or anything about season 4, or are you all pretty happy with it?
The one thing is just the lag. I think that seems to be affecting most players in terms of their enjoyment of the game. So it would be good to see how that's addressed in season 5. So hopefully that's been addressed. And obviously, I like I said, I didn't play the ranked battles, but I kept up to date with what people were saying about them as well. So it'd be good to see what's changed with them to make them more stable.
Yeah, I obviously I don't want to just put you on the spot, Caden, but is there anything that's been said about it at all?
About ranked, or
just about the servers in general.
Yeah, I thought that was what the question wasn't. At the moment, we haven't really got anything we can say. It's obviously a very big issue, and we are, aware of that, and it's something we definitely want to get fixed. We guys, we play with you on the servers. We don't particularly like getting lag while we're playing either, so it is an issue that we want fixing, and we are working really closely with Boomy to get that fixed. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be such a simple flick of a switch sort of situation. So it's just, we're working and trying our best to get it fixed for you guys. But I don't have sort of an ETA of when it is. It's just one of those things, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I said I didn't want to just put you on the spot for it, because I know some people just expect an answer of, say, a day of when it's going to be fixed. But I think things like that, every game suffers from, and it's always going to be an ongoing issue, isn't it, with all the new data going into the game, with all the different players from different areas playing as well. I think there's always going to be a challenge in terms of that kind of server type thing, isn't it? But it's good to hear that it is being looked at. It's always being trying to always come up with solutions for any issues that do crop up. So I'm hoping that we'll put a few players' minds to rest a little bit, because I know it is a big subject, and some people do get a little bit het up with it. So I feel like it was a bit of the elephant in the room, and I think really just directly asking, I think was the best way of doing that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, all I can assure is the community team, we don't let this subject drop. It is something that we bring up on an incredibly regular basis. It's part of our reports every week. So it's not like we're not letting them, forget the idea, because it's impossible to forget when we're constantly banging on about it to them. It's just, we haven't been able to find a fix, what's going on with it. So hopefully we'll get a fix soon. Because we just want you guys to enjoy the game. Really,
No, that's awesome. So, all happy with season 4 then? Yep, good. We'll move on straight away to season 5 then. Everything that we know so far. So we're getting 2 new units. We're getting 2 units which are having, I think it's been described as promotions, hasn't it, in the in all the stuff we've heard. But the Spear Sergeants and the Men at Arms, isn't it, that are very slightly being reworked as such. Yeah. So what are you looking forward to most then, Caden, for season 5 from your point of view, not just as a player but also obviously from the community management side of things as well?
For me, as a player and a community manager, I'm just really excited to see how you guys sort of react to the the flamethrowers and the grenades. I definitely think it's going to bring in a new dynamic to the battles, and I'm really excited to see how you guys manage to work around that, find the weaknesses, things like that. It's going to be incredibly interesting. But that's definitely what I'm looking forward to the most.
Awesome. What about you, Zimmy?
What am I looking forward to in season 4?
Yeah, what's the biggest thing you're looking forward to? Is it the new region, the new battle maps, the new units?
I mean, the units are kind of iffy to me just because we're throwing in flamethrowers. I'm just confused about that. But what I am excited for is the new regions. The new way the regions are located now, or will be. So I'm excited on how that's going to happen, and how it will work out, because it's less land now than before, I believe. So it means more of the smaller houses are going to have to compete. The bigger houses will hopefully have more competition, is my assumption with that. But besides that, honestly, my big thing is the tournament server. Like, I need things from the tournament server, and that's all I care about right now.
Have you got any tournaments sorted out, or are you looking at sorting any?
I mean, I got everything ready to go, like logo and name and everything like that, and rules and whatnot. But I need things from the devs in order to make it happen. So it's really hard. I asked for things in season 4, and it got put on hold for season 4. But now it's being put on hold for season 5. So I don't know when I'll get an opportunity to actually get any of the changes I asked. Or it's just settings. All it is settings I need. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Well, hopefully let season 5 come in, settle down a little bit, and then hopefully from there. Because I think the tournaments overall, I don't know if you obviously see all the numbers and everything, Caden, but from what I hear, the tournaments and everything do pretty well in terms of people participating, people watching and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't obviously have the exact numbers, but they do perform really well. People do seem to enjoy that kind of thing. So yeah, they do really well. I do enjoy watching the streams and that. I might not show up as Caden, but I do watch a lot of them in my free time as well. So it's not just the players that enjoy it; the staff really enjoy watching them as well.
That's always a nice thing to hear. Is all you guys do watch them as well, things like that. So, what about you, Banana? What are you looking forward to most of season 5?
I'll comment on one thing just real quick on the tournaments. So at the start, I co-hosted the Friday night fights with Cobra Commander, and in the beginning, it was definitely difficult getting people into the server and all that stuff. I know like some of the mechanics of like starting games and stuff or whatever. It could definitely be better, but I will just say one thing is that throughout the tournament, it improved. Like, just getting people into the server, which is like the most important thing, right? I mean, in general, like the first most important thing is getting people there so they can compete. So getting that improvement after we basically begged for it after like every single week having issues, they did deliver, and we had the finals, semifinals, and I think the one before that we had pretty much a full 15, and only had to sub in like maybe one person per team. And then going on to season 5, I'm excited for the new map. The new layout, that's just really cool. Like, that's something that we've never, in my time playing, I've never seen. And the fact that it'll be like a new Conquerors City, but not Conquerors City, I think that's just really cool. And I'm looking forward to like the boat travel, and I'm wondering if you can I don't know yet, but pursuing people on boats and stuff while you're trying to go over there. I don't know if that's what we're doing, but that'd be so cool. I
actually tested that just yesterday, and unfortunately, no. Once you jump onto that boat, the Pursue battle ends.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I was talking to my house. I'm like, we're gonna be pirates.
It was one of the first questions I asked once I managed to get to see the port systems. Can I attack people on the boats?
Maybe in the future, eh? We'll see how it goes, yeah. And then we'll all become pirates.
Yeah. So so other than that, I'm looking forward to, and definitely a little afraid of these fire units. But from what I've seen, they're gonna be squishy, and I really hope they are like very squishy, like one-shot squishy. Because they're definitely going to be a force, but I just really hope they can be killed quickly. That's the only thing, really. But you can use strategy like shields and stuff to make them frontline, kind of like Falconetti gunners. That's like how me and my buddies run those, like that unit right up behind a shield wall.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of people feeling the same about the new units. Obviously, being told there's a flamethrower unit as such coming in, but I'm sure with the devs' experience now of 4 seasons under their belt, bringing new units in pretty much every single season, the balancing, I personally think they've got down to a T now, and I'm not concerned at all about the new units. It's a very interesting way to go with the new units. I would never in a million years said that kind of unit would be coming in, but I'm definitely not concerned in the slightest about any balance issues or anything. I'm sure that they've all been very thoroughly tested and balanced against all the current units and everything. So, what about you then, sorry, Mouflon? What are your thoughts? What are you looking forward to most to season 5?
I think it's definitely just in the new region. I'm quite excited about that, and just seeing the new maps, how they correspond to that as well. I must say I'm also equally confused about the units though, because like when it was first announced, it was kind of the lore kind of insinuated this this brotherhood, this Catholic kind of Roman kind of feel to it, and then they started talking about fire, and everyone knows in medieval history the fire, Greek fire, and that. So it was a bit confusing to understand whether these units were considered kind of Romans or Greeks, or some sort of force. Well, I kind of said a force from Italy, if you remember. Yeah, so I'm still not sure if I was right or wrong, or what exactly they are really, but yeah, I'm just excited about trying them out and seeing how they change the battlefields as well. So yeah,
awesome. So new region's good then, new maps come in, and we've got a couple new units as well. I'm personally quite excited to see the changes to the men-at-arms and the spear silence especially. What I've seen so far, they're looking like they've had a good rework really, and I think it's definitely time for a few units to get the rework treatment. So it's good to see that a couple already are starting to get that treatment now. I don't know what you guys think of that.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that, because that's been a big cry from the community for a while. Is like, especially units that you grind honor for instead of do challenges for. Like, getting some love is really, really nice, because some of those units, particular Iron Reapers, I like to comment on those as well. There's there's been a bug with them this season. I actually don't know if I could ask you that, Caden. Have you heard of it? Is that a bug, or is that intentional? Because the Imperial pikemen on their advance ability, when the Iron Reapers are charging towards them, the 200 damage per tick that they normally do is going up to 2,000, and the Iron Reapers are instantly dying. I was wondering if that was looked at or whatever.
Well, I mean, it definitely sounds like a bug, and I believe it has been reported, but I don't really have any information on what bugs are being fixed or when, unfortunately.
Okay.
I tend to find out not long before you guys do with the patch notes. So as far as I'm aware, it's something that's being looked at, but I don't know when there'll be a fix for it.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to just add, is that the older units that are been sitting on people's bench for a while, it's nice to see them get some love, and then they might be back out there,
Yeah, for sure, which would be really good. So is there anything that you've heard as well, Caden, about any further units getting the rework treatment, or is it going to be a case of see how these guys do and then go from there?
Well, I think for now we want to see how these guys perform, whether it's well received the way that it's being done. Because obviously, to promote them, you need to do those unit challenges still. So we do want to see how that goes and how players progress with that, and whether they still use them after they've got it, or whether it people are going to use them for a little bit because maybe they think it's a bit of a novelty, then go back to using their normal units. So for now, we're going to focus on these guys, see how they perform, and then who knows, we'll give some love to other units in the future.
So, sorry, I totally just got a bit of what you said there. So you, because that was one of the questions I was asked recently. Actually, are these units going straight to the new promoted version, or we've got to do the challenges?
Okay, so to unlock them, if you have them unlocked already through Honor, you'll do the unit challenges, and then you'll be able to promote them. if you haven't got them, you can unlock them with honor and do that way, or you can just do the unit challenges. You will unlock them like normal, and you carry on through the challenges, and then eventually you'll get the option to promote them. So you have got the two options. You can either use your honor to get them unlocked, and then do the challenges to promote them, or you can just do the challenges and unlock them through that way instead.
Okay, awesome. That was the first I've totally heard of that, so I'm glad I asked. So once they're promoted though, is that it? Then they're at that new state and you can't go back?
Well, that particular unit can't go back, but you will still have the option to make another set of spear sergeants if you want.
Yeah.
Like if you want the spear sergeants and the promoted version, you can have both. You just need to create a new unit. You just can't demote the promoted units.
Okay, awesome. That's good to know though, that both versions are going to stay in the game at some point, and you've got the opportunity to use both versions of both the units. That's actually a really interesting thing. Actually, that's a really good way of doing it. I feel personally, and that's the first I've heard of it actually as well, and I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people. So I'm glad I asked that one. So, anything else anybody wants to talk about Season 5 or anything like that? Because we are actually blasting through this quite quick, which is really strange. So, but there's a few other things I want to talk about. But before we move onto that, is there anything else that anyone wants to mention about Season 5 or anything to do with Season 5 units, new region or anything?
I have one thing that I would like to say. Not really about that actually. It's kind of different, but I would like to mention about like the content program. What they've been doing for us. It's really crazy. Like I mean, obviously, I haven't been a content creator for any other game, but I mean, for what I saw, like from playing other games, it's like the help that's available to you. Like I mean, obviously, I know sometimes like overnight or on the weekends, it's it can be kind of rough, but it's like especially like Drew. Can't say enough about that guy. It's been a really good experience making content for this game. That's all. That's just the one thing I would like to say. And the Twitter, the Twitter share, I appreciate the hell out of you guys for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and we've actually mentioned this in a previous podcast. I can't remember if it was the last one or the one before, but actually, not only Drew, but you, Caden, as well. For me, especially, I know we've spoken a lot in the past, but I know all the community managers, Drew, the influencer manager, like you guys are really, really good at actually working with us and going through stuff and helping us with stuff to obviously help promote, for us to make stuff to help promote the game and push the game and everything like that. So working on, it's good that you say that, Banana, because I have done content for other games, and in the 5-6 years of doing YouTube for me now, there's not been a game which has been as supportive as Conquerors Blade for the content creators. So this is really just a message to everyone out there listening as well. If you are interested in getting into content creation, making YouTube, doing streams and everything for that, there are obviously requirements that you need to hit to be able to get into the content creation program, but from what I've heard, Drew is very helpful. He does help people get along. He gives people advice and tips and support, and I'm sure people have come to you, Caden, as well as some of the other community managers, and I'm sure you respond just the same. You give a little bit of support, a little bit of guidance to people. Obviously, if you want to become part of the content creation team, you've got to put the work in, you've got to come up with the ideas, and you've got to make sure that it's the best and it's the highest quality content that you can push out as well. But these guys are really, really good. So I'm not saying that just to brown nose to get stuff. It's honestly the truth, which is why I'm glad Banana brought it up as well, because we have discussed this in a previous podcast, and it's a good thing to reiterate, because I know there's a few issues, and a lot of the issues are always brought up by the vocal minority, and it puts a bit of a dampener on things. So actually talking about the good really does highlight actually some of the very good things that Conquerors Blade team does, the developers, community management team, and kudos to all of you. I know none of your jobs are going to be easy, but actually I think you all take it in your stride and you kind of just get on with it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to hear that you guys think we're doing a really great job. We always, try to do our best for the community. As far as the vocal minority goes, we understand that for the most part, it's not like personal. It's not directed at us. It's just we're there with you guys. We're the ones that you speak to. So when you guys get frustrated, it's us that gets it because we're the ones that are going to respond. So we don't take it personally. Naturally, it would be nice if you didn't have a go all the time when things go wrong, but that's just part of the job. Really, it's something that we're used to. We don't really take personally. We don't mind because we want you guys to have a good time as well. But when things are not going well, who else are you going to go to but the community managers that are there with you? So yeah, it can be difficult at times, but we don't take it personally.
No, that's good to hear. Like, would you say it's through the seasons and through obviously the development of the game? Would you say people? Would you say it's getting worse, Caden, or better, or people becoming more understanding, or are people asking more of you?
I'd like to think that it's definitely not getting worse. Don't get me wrong. I think the community that we've built over the last year or so, it's a really nice community. Yes, we do have issues, and yes, there is always going to be a few unique individuals, shall we say. But I don't think it's getting worse. I think that we are building a strong community, and we are going from strength to strength, and we are building that up. So that we're definitely not getting worse. I mean, I love the community. I love spending time with you guys. We love doing the streams, hanging out. So yeah, I don't think it's getting worse. I think we are just bouncing, like getting better, and we will continue to make changes. We'll try to do our best for you, and yes, sometimes those changes aren't going to be well received, but that's just unfortunately the nature of the game. We're never going to be able to please everybody, no matter how much we try.
I don't like to say like you're stuck in the middle or anything, but you are obviously the face of the community, the company as such. So yeah, I can see you guys getting it in the neck a fair bit for things, but I think from what I've seen, like all of you guys handle things as professional as you can, and I definitely don't see any issues like boiling over or getting worse or anything like that, which for some games you see minor issues just becoming massive issues, and it puts a dampener on everything. But it's good to see actually how you guys deal with stuff.
Yeah.
So moving on then, so we've spoken about Season 4, we've spoken about Season 5, we've still got about a quarter of an hour. So first off, I want to talk about the Twitch Drops event. So we've had 2 Twitch Drops events. Now the first one, it was good. It was obviously, as the first Twitch Drops event, there was a lot of lessons to be learnt, not just from the Conquerors Blade team, but I think from some of us content creators as well. I definitely learnt a lot through doing it, what works, what doesn't work, when best to stream and everything like that. I know all of you except you, Banana, I think were involved, weren't you, in doing something for the Twitch Drops event. How did you find it went? How did you find it went? Because I know you were going around to streams and supporting, weren't you, Banana?
Oh, absolutely. That's kind of what I do. The reason I don't do both, personally, is I'm not the best. I got like a severe ADHD, so like I can't. It's like very difficult for me to like really multitask like that. But like I can really like hone in on one thing really well. So that's why I've kind of just stuck to the YouTube, and then my friends that stream, I go in there and I hype them up and say what's going on. And it's nice too, is there you can talk, like I get the opportunity to talk to the community live where I don't normally actually get to. So it's nice to Andy help a friend in the process,
Yeah, and it's always good to have other content creators, just YouTubers or streamers, whatever, it doesn't matter, because I think we've all, as the content creators, I think we're all getting on very, very well, and I think we don't see each other as competition. We're actually here to help each other and get on with each other, and I think it's just a really nice team of content creators we got at the minute. I don't know if...
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've always been a believer that like it's like well, especially on like YouTube, it's like the search engine is your adversary, not the people making similar content.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no one knows what
optimizing. Yeah, optimizing your content is way more important than shutting down the people that are competing with you, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. So I know you streamed quite a lot during it, Zimmy. For the second Twitch Drops event, how did you find it went? Did you find it went better, about the same, worse than the first one?
I'm trying to recall. It was a blur because it's just a lot of streaming, and I mean, I was happy that a lot of people were getting the drops. Like, there was issues with people getting the drops. It got fixed. I guess there needs to be a little bit more testing before it comes out, because I feel like there ended up being issues both times with drops, not being able to get them. I don't know whose side that's on. I think it was Booming. I forget whose side it was on that we had the issues, but also the powdered silver issue that kind of was a drag. I don't know if that ever got fixed.
So that's not being fixed right now. We're still working with Vimmy to get that, but we are looking at, instead of fixing it, just sending people, like checking how much silver they got and sending out a fresh batch. So we are looking at possibly doing that if we can't get a fix in the very near future. But we do understand, that the powdered silver was a big issue, and it still is for a lot of people, because you need that for your crafting. It's just unfortunately something that hasn't, we haven't been able to fix just yet. So we are looking at, alternative options for that one at the moment, and hopefully we'll have like an official announcement soon whether what we're going to do with that.
Awesome.
Okay, yeah, that was the main thing, was the powdered silver. Anything else I don't know of, but yeah, it definitely boosted the numbers a bit. Got the more exposure for a lot of the Twitch streamers, which also helps promote the game. What I actually wonder is if you guys actually see a revenue boost when you actually do drops. That's one thing I'm curious about, but obviously you might not have that answer. But that's something I think is great for promotion for us and for the game. So I think it's a win-win. I think it should happen more often. Not all the time, but like once a month would be cool. Maybe just have a week where you do it. It doesn't have to be the 2 weeks. I think 1 week would be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like it was too long. The last one was too long. Obviously, every viewer is like, no, it wasn't. We got a bunch of free stuff. But like,
for us doing
honestly, it's hard.
Everybody
on the
loves free
streamers.
stuff.
It was
hard on the
actually
streamers.
quite tiring.
I know you did a lot, didn't you, Move, during the days for the last one?
I think in the end I was just sort of at a point where I felt like I'd burnt myself out a bit, but it was definitely quite something. But I must admit I really enjoyed it. It was just really tiring, very tiring. But I mean, it was my first Twitch drop as well, because unfortunately I wasn't able to make the first one because of the death in the family. So it was my first Twitch drop, and I thought it was brilliant. It was, I think, keeping it to a week makes it more exclusive, though.
Yeah.
So I think that's that aspect would definitely kind of help. I think, yeah.
I mean, that's definitely something we can take back to, look at and consider. I don't see it being an issue doing it for 1 week rather than 2. Especially, if it is, the last thing we want is for you guys to burn out with these Twitch drops. So if you guys are thinking that maybe 2 weeks is too long, we can certainly, look at that and maybe next time just do it for a week. The main question I have for you guys about this, and Mouflon, I don't think you're really going to be able to answer because you didn't take part in the first, but which version did you guys prefer? Did you prefer having like a set day you get X, or the RNG side of things? Did you guys like that more?
I personally prefer the RNG side of things. I think it's a lot more interesting for people to come on and watch, for especially the 3 drops compared to the 1 as well. I think that was a really good thing to do, is just to boost it up a little bit. But the RNG, I think, may just the only concern I would have if we did do it again in the future is just the RNG rates need to be looked at slightly and tweaked slightly, because I think I was averaging about 30 people every stream, and I don't think one got any part of the hero set at all. I personally think the RNG 3 drops a day is the way to go, though. Over the, you get this drop one day, you get the next drop the next day. So it just, I felt like on the days where people were just getting, say, hero experience cards, the number dropped significantly in the first event. For me, at least. I don't know if you found anything the same, Zimmy.
I preferred the RNG. Everyone likes RNG because it's just that chance of getting something different. You know, like it's just more exciting instead of like, oh, I know what I'll get today. Like it's more exciting to come to the stream and be like, I don't know what I'm gonna get today, but we'll see. You know, so I feel like it promotes it a bit more, and I feel like the numbers were actually higher this time around too, for some of the streamers.
I mean,
one thing I will say. One thing I will say is, I wish the streamers wouldn't use false advertising. That is one thing that I did not like about it. Like, what's happening with the drops is also making the streamers greedy. So that's one thing. No, it's gonna build.
What do you mean by that? Sorry, Zimmy. What?
I've seen people putting like, 24-hour streams, but they would only do 12-hour streams.
Okay.
Best loot here. Like, for marketing reasons, I get it, but like, come on. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's
like,
not...
you're making enemies of all the other content creators by doing that. And I think it's, I didn't like it, but of course it's marketing. You can do whatever you want. But I'm just going to say it, like, no one likes that you're going to do that. No one likes it.
What are your thoughts on it, Caden, from your point of view? Did you notice a difference between the events at all?
I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of streams as much as I would like, but from what I've seen and from what we've discussed with Drew afterwards, that there was definitely a larger portion of people watching you guys, taking part in the Twitch drops. So I definitely think that the RNG quite possibly is the better way to go, even though we did have some complaints from people about it. But I'm not really sort of clued up on exactly how the Twitch drops works in the back end, but maybe in the future we can do like you get the 2 RNG drops and then you're guaranteed on the third one to get like a hero attire piece, just so people can collect those hero attire pieces, because let's face it, everybody loves cosmetics, and they were quite on the low side on the drop chance for those. So maybe that's something that's possible. I don't know. Would that be something you guys would think would work?
Yeah, I think that kind of thing would definitely work. Definitely, it gives people a good reason to stay for the whole stream, then, doesn't it? Or the time limit of whatever it would be, whether it's an hour and a half again for all 3 drops. But I think personally that would, that would eliminate my only concern with the RNG-ness.
Yeah.
Can I add? Oh, sorry. Good.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to add one thing about like these events, like in general. I would love to see like in the future, like some creative things that we could do on YouTube for obviously non-biased reasons.
So speaking of that, I'll just jump in because I've had chats with Drew about this, because I was actually specifically asked what we could do on YouTube. It's not the case of no one wanting to do stuff on YouTube. We just haven't thought of anything that we can do on YouTube other than just like the giveaways, because obviously the issue with YouTube is it's not live. So we just need to come up with something that will work really with YouTube. Is I think the point I got to when I was speaking with Drew.
Yeah, so what I wanted to add to that is I just recently started doing something that I came up with. I put like thumbnail on the thumbnail, giveaway, and then announce in the video like a code somewhere where you enter, and then I'm gonna have a random number generator pick the winner from the comments from top to bottom. So that was like the idea I came up with, and I don't see why we couldn't do something like that.
I mean, definitely talk to Drew, because like I said, the point we got to is we just couldn't think of anything really that would work.
Yeah. That was the first thing I thought of. That
I actually have an idea. If you guys need any? What I did was I put random pictures into the stream or the YouTube video, and then whoever would find the 3 random Like it would be like Pac-Man or something, right? Just like
Ooh,
runs across
okay,
the screen or
okay.
something. And then if they can name all 3 things throughout the video, so then they have to watch the video, right? Like, so you're getting time.
Yeah, that's why I did the code.
Yeah, so I did what I did in one video. I think my weekly quest one I did 3 different images, and they popped up in different times. And if you can name all 3, you were put into the raffle for.
Oh, that's even a little more weighty there, dude. To be honest, that's good. That's good. Because that makes them go to the beginning, middle, and the end. So that is quite smart. I'll give you that.
Yeah, so I think
it's an idea for you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think we all need to just feed those ideas back to Drew. Hopefully, Drew will watch this one and hear it. But if not, then we'll have to definitely feed those back to Drew, because I know that was the point we just got stuck at.
I can
really.
share the video if you guys just want to look at it and see what.
Yeah, I'm actually recording right now. I could clip this part and just flip it to him.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think that'd be ideal. So. Awesome. So anything else? We've got a couple minutes left. Anything else that you guys want to add before we just have a very quick plug for what's happening tomorrow on the official Conquerors Blade stream? Is there anything else that anyone wants to bring up at all?
I would like to bring up one thing just for the just for the sake of my housemates that we I go on the NA server managed to take Conquerors City for like the first time. From another house, and I just the reason I wanted to just give a shout out to the people that planned the whole thing, and stayed up, including myself, stayed up like countless hours and really working on it, and Sim's in our house now too.
Grimjaw did a lot of work on that.
Yeah, man, I stayed up with him quite a few times. And
when you told me you had 40-hour Diplo meetings, no, mate, no, I'm out of that. I'm out of that.
Hey, if you want to do the impossible, you got to prepare for the worst.
God. Anything you want to bring up, Moof?
Nothing really. Just I didn't really get a chance to reiterate as well just how appreciative we are of the community that we've got in terms of people like Caden and Drew and the whole CM team. It's great fun. It really is great fun. It's nice to see kind of like the chatter as well in our own kind of like groups as well. Like I just think it's incredible that we have that exposure and we're able to kind of engage to that level as well. So it's really it is a great community spirit, really.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you need to come on more, Drew, more Caden, to get this kind of love,
Yeah, it's nice for people to shower love at me for a change. So you can keep that coming, and I'll join all the time if you just keep saying nice things about me.
Until we ask about the elephants.
You can, but you're not
knew it was going to come up. I knew someone was going to say it.
I
thought it was going to come up.
Everyone thought.
And Caden's neck just went to his shoulder. Twitching after the one.
Oh, would you look at the time? It's time to go, guys.
What do you know?
Just one thing with the elephant. We should have an elephant mask. There has to be a cosmetic elephant mask, or at least an elephant emote. Where somebody can do an elephant emote, just to keep that going. So we need something elephant-wise, I think.
I mean, I've made jokes in the past about doing something like that, but I also think that the community would lynch the living hell out of me if we did it.
That is very true.
Get the tarred feathers.
It did suggest an elephant chibi when we were, because I mean, you guys have seen all the chibis and that we made with our art team and that for Discord and that.
Yeah,
One of the suggestions I made was an elephant one, and then we decided it probably wasn't the best thing to do, because obviously it is a bit of a sore subject for quite a lot of people. So we just didn't want to that sort of thing. We were just being taking it like jokingly. It is an issue that we would like fixed as soon as possible, but yeah, I just don't really have any information I can share on the elephants, unfortunately.
Cracking me up, man.
So information you can share, however, Caden, is what's happening tomorrow night. If you'd like to tell everybody.
Yeah, so for tomorrow night, we've got some really cool things going on. We have a stream like usual, but this time we're going for 3 hours. So it's a bit of a marathon one for us. We're going to have some fun events. I think we're going to be with the community trying to hunt down the other CMs. They're going to be hiding in Australia, I believe, and we're going to try and find them as quickly as we can. And depending on how quick we find them, will determine how many founder packs we're going to give out. It's not going to be the Conquerors pack; it'll be the Adventurers pack. I think was what was decided. So if we find them quickly, we're going to give out more, and things like that. So it's going to be really cool. Glyn is also going to be joining us for a little bit. He's going to be talking about his channel. Yes, so we've got Glyn joining us for a little while. We're going to have a chat with him, interrogate him a little about his thoughts and things like that.
That's why I've gone so easy on you tonight.
Is it season 4 map or is it season 5 map?
It will be on the live server, so it'll be season 4 map.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And not only that, we're going to have a bit more information about season 5 to share as well.
But there's also some drops going on, from what I hear, Caden, tomorrow night as well.
Yes, we're going to be Twitch dropping as well, because we like to give 3 stuff out as well. So there's going to be some very special things coming out. I can't remember whether we said what was coming in the article, but
yeah, we did.
Yeah,
well, we did. You did.
Yeah, I did read it, I swear. But yeah, there's going to be some flags. There's going to be an exclusive title. So if you want that, you are going to need to tune in, because I don't believe we're going to plan to give it out again anytime soon. So if you want a shiny new title, that's going to be given out as well. We will also be joined by our producer for the first half an hour. He's going to come in. We're going to, ask him some questions and that for you guys. So that should be fun.
Fantastic.
That'll be good fun. So what time is this all kicking off tomorrow, Caden, and whereabouts is it happening?
It will be happening on our Twitch channel. You're not going to ever remember the name of our Twitch channel. It's Conquerors Blade My Games, I believe it is now. And it'll be starting at 7 PM CEST, and we'll be running for 3 hours from then.
Awesome. So if you want some Twitch drops, if you want to see some more Season 5 stuff, or if you just want to hunt down the community team, then definitely tune in tomorrow night. But I think I'm going to call it the podcast to an end there, unless anybody has any pressing issues that they want to raise very quickly before the end. I assume not, then. That's good.
I will give you guys one small hint for tomorrow. I would definitely follow us on our social media channels, because there's something coming out tomorrow that you're definitely going to want to see.
Cryptic.
There you go.
Loving it. So then, folks, thank you very much for joining us on both my stream and on Zimmy's stream for the podcast. Anybody that's watching this over YouTube, thank you very much for sitting down and listening to us for, I think, about an hour. We're just about there, which is good. Thank you very much for all the guests again tonight. So thank you very much, Zimmy, Mouflon and HandbanananPVP. As always, their links are going to be down in the description box below for you on the YouTubes. And thank you very much for joining us, Caden. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's not been too scary for you.
No, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
That's all right. Anytime you want to come back, we can interrogate you again. Be more than happy to.
Yeah, good to meet you, brother.
But it's been awesome. Thank you very much to everyone that's joined us tonight, and we hope to catch you all tomorrow in the official Conquerors Blade Twitch stream. And boom.
Nice.
Thank you, boys.
That was awesome. That was a good podcast, boys. That was fun.
That was fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice to meet
Can I
you.
bug you with a question before you go?
You can.
What is the difference between the influence manager and the community managers? Like a detailed, technical sense. What's the difference?
The difference is Drew literally deals just with influencers and content creators, where I deal with the community as a whole. So while his main focus is just on you guys, I focus on the broad sense of the whole community. Obviously we take care of you guys as well as best as we can. But yeah, that's the main difference. Is while Drew just focuses literally on content creators and that aspect of things, we take care of the whole community.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious because I was not sure if I am ever supposed to try to get Juriel to like actually help with events and shit like that. Because obviously Drew is too busy to do that. I know Drew's too busy to do that, but I'm not sure about Juriel and like if I'm supposed to like if he should be reaching out to us when we're doing events. Like, because I just no offense. It's just I feel like I just we don't get enough FaceTime with him like at all. So I'm just curious on who I should be bugging. Like if I want help promoting and stuff like that, like who should I be reaching out to? Just Drew?
For like promoting on Facebook and Twitter, you're probably best off speaking to Uriel. He's also very busy as well, but you know, if you do send him a message, he will get back to you when he can. But yeah,
I have reached out. I just haven't had much luck.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I mean, I can speak to him, I guess, if you want. But you can always reach out to me as well if needed.
Okay.
I might not answer
straight
straight away
put
because
stuff on you because obviously you're EU and Juriel is NA, so I'm just curious. I'm like,
I think you all kind of pitch in together though, don't you, Caden?
yeah. Yeah, I'd say we're just one big team really. But if you're not having much luck with Euro, you can always just give me a message as well.
Okay.
But yeah, your first point of call should, you know, try to get hold of Uriel because he is the NA community manager, and you're gonna have a bit of better luck, hopefully, like time zone wise, with getting hold of him than, you know, trying to catch me when I'm running away in the early morning for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. All right, yeah, I'm just asking. I'm not trying to stir the pot. I'm just kind of curious because
No, that's fine.
I mean, there's a lot of things I like to do next season. I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to do all kinds of things next season. So.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I mean, I don't personally like hold a tournament, so like I co-hosted on Cobras. The reason I won't is just because like I saw what happened, and like the thing is with since I'm like so heavily involved in the YouTube side of things, where it's like editing and I make sure everything's perfect before I release it, and I do a lot of that's all I really focus on. Like I can't have my focus being taken away by like a bunch of people messaging me constantly about that one thing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that maybe in the future, once we get it integrated into the live server and like a better process, I'll definitely do one. But it's just it would take too much time away that I just don't have to give right now. But.
Yeah, and that's another thing I'm pushing for. I'm really pushing for that. You guys might see that I'm pushing for that in the content creators Discord. Like that is my number one thing right now. Like just give us the tournament server so we can do a lot of different things with it, because we can promote the game in so many different ways if they just give us a few different things.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all
like
I'm asking for.
getting the tournament server put onto the live server for you guys is something we would like as well. It's not just you guys that are pushing that; it is something we're pushing. Because we'd like to run a few, like not serious tournaments, but just have a bit of a like fun tournament kind of things, and it's a lot of work trying to get it all organized and that how it is now. So it is something we want to see as well. It's just unfortunately it's not something that's easy to implement as far as I'm aware from what they're saying. So it is just taking a bit of time.
Yeah, I feel you, and I have faith in you guys too, because I mean, it's like I've noticed like kind of like like a trend, which is fine because at least it gets done. It's like it's like you guys say you're gonna do something, it might take a little bit, but you eventually do it, and that's what I see that from other games I've played. I have not seen that, so it's something that's fine with me.
From my point of view, I think the tournament server is one of those things which would be really good when it's up running, going properly and like full speed, but it's something you can't rush to get sorted out, can you? Because you can't really balls it up. So if you balls it up, you're going to cause far more issues than not having it.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like definitely the being gentle when it comes to like introducing stuff and all that. I've seen that like for example like Elder Scrolls Online, like game I used to play, they used to just throw content at you, like, and it was I thought people think these servers are bad, and sometimes in certain situations like Territory where like it does get unplayable, but that game, oh my god, they were just firing content at you and like you couldn't even move in the PvP area. It was crazy.
Bro. Yeah, and I have nothing against anyone. I just, I I just know I mentioned stuff in season 4, and I had to wait because of season 4. I just don't want to see like a lot of these things just keep being put off. That's what I'm worried about. I get like if it's not a big issue, like if it's something that they definitely can't dedicate time to, like feel free to say that. Like I'm fine with that, but if I get this idea like, oh, they can work on it eventually, I'm gonna have that idea. So I do have a meeting with Drew, so I'm gonna talk to him too about it. But I figured I'd just put you in the loop too, Kaden, because there's a lot of things that I would definitely do with the tournament server and promote the hell out of this game with it. It's because like one of the biggest thing is having like a modified version of the game. People love modifications. Like people look for that stuff. And like when I can modify like, oh, you get unlimited artillery and you just fire at each other. Like, if you can get modes like that, people are literally gonna play for different reasons at that point instead of the same reason, right? So I don't know. I'm just curious on like what we can do with it. Because it's a server, right? And we can implement different things on it. So I'm kind of curious on how far we can go with that.
I feel you on that. I mean, especially with me as a person, like just person to person, I'd rather meet like people like just be blunt with me. Like no, we can't do it. Okay, that's it. Like I'll take that. I will take no for an answer because it is an answer.
If it is the answer, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure like if
100%.
it is a possibility, we can like work towards it. That's all I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of things, it takes some work from booming as well. So it does take time back and forth to make sure it's working. But these things that you guys want to do, we want them as well. We want the game to do well with this tournament server. We want you guys to be able to use that to the fullest of its ability. It's just unfortunately sometimes it just takes some time to get on, and it gets put to the side when there's like serious issues. Like with the season 4 issues and that, we had to prioritize fixing the live servers over adding new shiny things to the tournament server.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Time,
that's understandable. Just like it's like especially like when it comes to like me and Zimster, these seem to share the same opinion. Definitely. If there's like a iffy thing, but you pretty much know it's no. Like from like Drew or whatever, I love if people would just tell me no, because it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, I'll find something that I can do better, you know what I mean? Like I'll find another avenue to still promote the game,
right?
Well, it's like I'll still promote the game, but I'll find a different avenue to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to know what our options are, and like if we do get a say in like some of the things that we could change on different things. Like obviously you look towards the like community for like, oh, what is the huge meta stuff going on right now? Like what would we need to change to bring a new meta? Or what if it's like heroes broken? Oh, this hero's broken. Like you hear it nonstop from most people. So maybe they should be changed just a little bit, right? And to slowly implement changes to them until it feels like they're right. Now, don't do huge changes like the bow, like the way they did bow is not right in my opinion. They should have did it more gradual, because literally all bow players are like, screw this, bow's not overpowered anymore, I'm not gonna play it. So like I feel like if it's more of a gradual thing, it would have been better. I
think it'd have been less noticeable, that's for sure. If it had been done slowly.
In mall, I'll talk about the mall real quick. It's like I'm actually looking at my stats right now. No. So this is the funny thing about mall. So my mall has the same average heroes killed as my dual blades, whilst having double the same average troops killed as my Nodachi. I just feel like it's like when it comes to like me, who I'm like, I play like every single weapon. Like I switch often. Like that's part of my content. Like I like to show everything. And for somebody like me that's pretty good with like pretty much all the weapons in the game, that's like a big thing for me to see. Like where I'm like, this thing is just because like I could just like spin and beat the crap out of people whilst being a tank, and I'm like, all right, well I'll do it, but it's just it's pretty bad. It's like I make a lot of people angry without trying to.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. Like, I didn't hear anything about changes to Maul. Is it like the devs like made this creature that they feel like should never be debuffed ever, or like I I'm just curious because all they have to do is either slow down the mall when they carry people or just make it where they can't carry people as long. Literally, you change that literally probably fixes it. Like, you don't have to change damage. You don't have to change how tanky they are. Change that goddamn ult, and they'll be fine. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's something that we report on every week, how the players are feeling about the mall grab. I know I joke about it on streams, being kidnapped and things like that. But I do understand where you guys are coming from, and I know it's frustrating. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, the devs get the final say, and if they feel it's performing to the standards that they want it to be at, that's it. They're going to keep it at there. We are pushing from the community side to try and get some sort of changes on that. But that's all we can do. All we can do is make the suggestions. It's up to the devs at the end of the day whether they want to make those changes or not.
Yeah, I mean, the only, that's like, I share the same, the similar view about the grab, but for me, my biggest bugaboo is the damage. Like, I use my horse dismount. Like, unlike a lot of malls, like I make the big use of my horse dismount that does like 6,000